I had promised not to get political, but this is all politics. I'm starting to think fans are getting more and more wary of politics being interjected into their entertainment. And we're starting to see people push back a lot. I'm talking to this about a specific conversation that came out of my Facebook recently about how I feel like, look, in my job and many people's jobs, we're not allowed to protest or upset clients or push customers away. Why should the NFL be any different? Many of these players, many of the minority players, are paid very, very well to do the job that they're doing. And if their boss tells them to do something, well, they got to do it. So you haven't heard, the NFL has banned kneeling during the national anthem. And quite frankly, if I did something that upset my clients, I'm pretty certain I wouldn't be able to keep my job. That being said, it seems to me like people are trying to enter everything fun. In the last 4 years, at least, I can see that politics got interjected into video games, science fiction books, sports, movies, just about everything. Why does this always become a problem? Well, to me, it seems that we miss an opportunity when these things happen. When we have politics interjected into places where there usually isn't, we create divisiveness where there isn't any. And in many ways, to me, it is self-sabotaging the actual thing that many of these people are trying to accomplish. And I'll explain why. Going back to college, I wrote an essay about how I felt like they were controllable and uncontrollable factors of a person's identity. What are uncontrollable factors? Well, things like the color of your skin, where you were born, your biological gender, who your parents were, who your parents' religion were. You can't control those things. You're simply born with them. On the other side of things, there are controllable factors of your identity, like what kind of music you listen to, what kind of food you like, what kind of sports you watch, what kind of TV shows you watch. And I said that it should be the goal of every person out there to try and find common ground with other human beings based on the controllable factors of one's identity, such as music, sports, etc. This means that if I go into a bar and order a craft beer and the guy next to me orders the same beer, well, we probably have something in common. If we're there to watch sports, we might be cheering on the same team. We go to a concert, we might be listening to the same music, and that the color of a person's skin or their gender or whatever else about them that they can't control shouldn't matter. We should be able to get along because we have these controllable factors. And I believe that every human being out there is diverse enough in their own identity that we could probably find things that, unite us as people. Instead, it seems like interjecting a lot of these politics creates divisiveness because you're forced to make some decision about your own fandom and the thing that you love and then be judged arbitrarily, good or bad, based on what your political decision is. Now, I'm going to say something controversial here, but I don't think Colin Kaepernick is a very good quarterback. And I think this because, well, I watched a season in 2016 when he won exactly 1 game out of 10. I mean, that's not a very good record. And yeah, he had some great earlier years, but at the same time, he was asking for a lot of money in order to play for a team, around $9 million, and I think most teams didn't think that he was worth it. He actually asked to be let out of his own contract, so he could have played another year and proven to us that he was better than he had done in 2016, but he chose not to. So he's out on his own as a free agent. He almost got picked up by the Ravens, but his girlfriend made kind of a bad tweet. You can look that up if you want to see what it is and decide for yourself if that was worth not hiring him over. The point being is that my reasons for disliking Colin Kaepernick have nothing to do with him kneeling, but at the same time, I completely understand why the NFL says, look, you're our employees. We get to tell you what to do. Because of that, I can't enjoy football with some people who feel the opposite. And that's too bad because I've had a group of people that I go out and watch football with. They're of all different races and genders. I've had males, females, black people, an Asian person. And these are all really good friends of mine, and I often go to Super Bowl parties where it's a huge group of mixed people that all get together just to enjoy the sport. We come together in a way that promotes harmony among different types and diverse people. So when people are trying to promote diversity, often they're putting something like this in the way and judging people. And to me, that just isn't good for business, and it certainly isn't good for harmony among individuals. So that's my big rant on it. And we've seen this in comic books, we've seen this in science fiction stories, we've seen this in movies. And I'm starting to feel people are getting more and more weary of it. And some people might even blame this as one of the reasons why Trump was elected, because divisive politics were forcing more and more people away from the left. Well, if that's the case, then I completely understand why some people are doing that, though that to me doesn't justify voting for someone who you don't particularly like just for those reasons. Whew. Well, there's my rant on that. What I hope is that more and more people can get together and enjoy hobbies and have fun with each other, regardless of who they are, and not be divided up by silly political statements that need to be made in various places. There's plenty of places to do it. Hey, you can get a YouTube channel like I did, and you can post your ideas there. And if you want to do that, hey, power to you. But when your employee tells you to do something, I kind of feel like you got to do it. And hey, if I was getting paid what they would, I'd be happy to do what they tell me. In fact, I got to do what my job tells me to do, even if I don't particularly get paid millions of dollars. Well, that's it. Like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.